Hi everyone, I'm Alana. Welcome back to Accelerating on Reinventing DGA. We've wrapped up the heats and now it's time to move into the last chance qualifiers and then the main events. Each stage of the race follows a different procedure, so today we'll continue using Power Query to streamline the schedule setup for both. Buckle up, let's get started. The foundation for both the LCQ and main event schedules comes from the completed heat event tab. We can see that the results have been sorted for review. Before we move forward, let's do a data check. The table headers should remain visible as we scroll. Any DNF, did not finish errors, need to be adjusted before proceeding. Once we've verified the data, we're ready to bring it into Power Query. As with our previous queries, our first step is to import the data and confirm the correct data types. One small issue. The plate number column contains a special character, which will cause an error in our query. To fix this, we simply rename the column before proceeding. We remove any unnecessary columns to make the data cleaner and improve processing speed. The fewer columns we process, the faster our query will run. We need to merge this data with the race management table and expand the relevant columns in order to determine the total number of riders per class and the race order. Finally, we sort the data by race order and finishing position to ensure everything is properly organized. A last chance qualifier, LCQ, will be held if a class has more than 18 registered riders. To build the LCQ schedule, we first remove the top 12 finishers. They automatically qualify for the main event. LCQ events are limited to a maximum of 18 riders. So if the class has more than 30 registered riders, anyone who finished 31st or lower is also removed. The first step in preparing the LCQ event list is to filter the heat results to include only classes with more than 18 riders. The next step will extract the valid LCQ riders. In Power Query, we accomplish this by skipping the first 12 rows, the main event qualifiers, and keeping only the next 18 rows. To properly assign starting positions for both the LCQ and main events, we need to calculate two key columns, the row number 1 through 3 and the position number 1 through 6. We then combine these values to create a rider's starting position. This method differs from how positions were assigned in the heats. Now we clean up the data by removing unnecessary columns and reordering the columns for consistency. We assign event numbers using the same logic as we did for the heat events. Before finalizing our schedule, we add the placeholder columns for results entry. As we expect unskilled users to manage the workbook, we'll also create VBA code to automate the creation and formatting of the LCQ table. With everything set, we return the data to the workbook, format the table, and the LCQ events are ready to begin. Processing LCQ results is very similar to processing heat results. First, we bring in the raw data and clean it up. This time, we only need the top 6 finishers. These riders advance to the main event. To properly integrate them, we add 12 to each finishing position. This ensures that the LCQ riders take their spots at the end of the main event lineup. Since we need to combine LCQ results with heat results, we must ensure that the race management table columns are added, data is sorted by finishing position, and the column names and formats match. Consistent structure ensures smooth appending. Misaligned columns can cause errors, incorrect placements, or missing data when merging tables. By maintaining alignment, we guarantee that every rider's data flows seamlessly from heats to LCQs to the main event, preventing issues in downstream calculations and reporting. Once this is done, our LCQ results are ready. To create the main event schedule, we start with the heat results table. The number of riders determines how many records we keep. If a class has 18 or fewer riders, we keep all records. If there are more than 18 riders, we only keep the top 12 finishers from the heat results. Before we can add the LCQ results to the heat results, we need to do some quick data cleanup. Now we bring in the LCQ results and integrate them into our existing tables. Using Power Query's append functionality, we stack the data so that LCQ finishers are correctly placed after the heat qualifiers. Once combined, we group the data and assign the row numbers and position numbers. We then finalize the starting positions by combining row and position values and sorting by position order. Next, we assign event numbers following the same method used in heats and LCQs. Finally, we clean up the data and add the necessary race management columns. Since we want this process to be user-friendly, we will automate the creation of the main event schedule using VBA. And now it's go time. The main event is where it all comes together. Riders will push their limits, aiming for glory and awards. This is what race day is all about. In this series, we've reviewed requirements, built controls, automated the race scheduling, and processed results. In our final video, we'll bring everything together by covering race day awards and season standings. Don't miss it! Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. See you next time on Reinventing DGA.